back in the garage for another round of Hannah's garage finds as she sifts through our tackle, trying to find out what's valuable and what we might have missed out on using over the past few years. So on the last one you may have seen, she found 3 topwaters. So since it's still kind of winter here, I'm hoping maybe she found a different category, maybe jigs or hair jigs or blade baits. But what did you get this time, Hannah?
Topwater!
Why topwaters again?
Fun! It's so fun!
It is fun to throw a topwater. So let's go through the baits that you found, and I'll tell you if they have stories behind them and if they're worth anything. Okay, Hannah, what's the first bait you've picked out?
Looks like a topwater. Looks like a spook, actually. But I've never heard of this brand before, called Paycheck.
Oh, Paycheck Baits was founded by Bub Tosh. Have you ever heard of him?
I have.
He's one of the top Western pros, does real well on the California Delta, did some collaborations with Yamamoto on soft plastics, and he came out with this bait called the One, and it's a pencil popper. You can see it has sort of a cupped lip, has feathers on the back, and it has a long side-to-side action. And these were real popular in the Carolinas in particular, where they had blueback herring, and you would throw a real fast-moving big topwater to attract their attention. But they do well, obviously, out west as well, where you have some clear waters and you have a lot of big fish. So he came out with this. They're now selling for about $100 and something on eBay.
No wonder it's on the
So I'm glad I told her. So if I get run over by a bus tomorrow, she doesn't give it away to some unsuspecting high school kid. We have a couple of these, but if you can get one of these, it's a fantastic bait. There are some other options on the market out there, but I'm pretty impressed that you picked that one out first. Okay, Hannah, what's the second one you picked out?
I picked this out because of the packaging. It's orange.
And what brand is it?
It's Bomer.
And what Bomer baits do you throw regularly?
Oh, the fat-free shad.
The fat-free shad is the OG El Salto crankbait, but you probably didn't know they make topwaters. I still think they make a few. They make the long A jerk bait, but a few true topwaters still. This is called the Rip Shad. And you can see it's chrome and it has a little propeller on the back. And it looks like a bait they had, which is a crankbait called the Smilin' Minnow, which had the same body, the same sort of little smile up front, but it was a topwater. I never heard of it. They had an article in Bassmaster on secret discontinued baits at the pros, and Larry Lazoan said the Rip Shad was one of his. So I bought these on eBay, never fished it.
It's still in the package.
I actually think of Larry Lazoan for a different reason. He won a Bassmaster Invitational on the Potomac, I want to say 1994, on the Cavitron buzzbait, which is a buzzbait that I still use. I don't think it's the same as the original one that was made up in Connecticut, but I think Lee Bailey makes it now. And he only had 1 or 2 of them left by the end of the tournament. He said it was just so ugly they wanted to kill it so it wouldn't reproduce. So maybe I need to get out with this. I throw a lot of prop baits now, but more like the PH lures, the brim style baits, the Brian's Bees, things like that. Maybe the Rip Shad, which is a little one, needs to get out. Okay, what's your third bait, Hannah?
Well, it's clear, but yet it almost looks like stickers on the side. Little shad things attached to it.
It's cool. This is one that we bought in Japan. It's from Nories, which is a popular brand now simply because Taku Ito has made it so popular in the U.S. again. Founded by Norio Tanabe, the first Japanese pro to win a Bassmaster event. And it's cool. If you look at it, it's a little popper, but it's clear with an insert. And the insert is a little baitfish.
Why don't you just use a smaller bait?
Well, you could do that, but if you're trying to throw it into the wind, you might need a slightly larger bait. Also makes the commotion of a larger popper, but yet has the profile of a smaller bait, so it calls them from a distance, but if they're keyed in on those smaller baitfish, that's something they'd want to use. Comes in a number of sizes, up to I think about 110 millimeters. This is a pretty standard quarter-ounce size. Nories makes great products. It's one that we need to get out when the bite is tough on a popper.
All right, so apparently you had no problem throwing a $100 bait because I can see it here. It's out of the package and it has rusty hooks, so you've obviously thrown it. But what if somebody can't afford a bait like this? Is there another brand or that somebody else could purchase?
Absolutely. If you go to Tackle Warehouse, there's a bunch of pencil popper options. There's the original Cordell pencil popper, which is pretty large, so I think most bass fishermen would shy away from it, but there are still plenty of others on the market that you can get. My favorite is the Evergreen Shower Blows, This bone color is a great color. They come in all sorts of bait fish colors. Check out Morizo Pink. That's a really good color in the shower blows. Comes in a number of sizes. This is the shorty model, so you might like it. There are several others. One larger one that we threw both in the Amazon and in El Salto is the Ima Big Stick.
I remember.
Made by Ima. Really good quality bait. Walks very easily. The big one, you're going to need some specialized tackle to throw because it is quite large. But if that's too large for what you're doing, you can get the Ima Little Stick.
The Hannah size.
Berkeley has their own model. The Cane Walker. That's a chrome one. That would be real good in the Carolinas. Any place you have clear water and chrome colored bait fish. And another one that's real easy to find is the Lucky Craft Gunfish, which we've done real well on at El Salto. We've caught some fish on the Potomac on it. That's another one that's easy to find, has premium Japanese finishes, and is reasonably priced. So just because you can't find any of these doesn't mean there aren't options. If you can't find a substitute for the lure you're looking for, shoot us an email. We have a pretty good idea. As you can see, we have tons of tackle here. We've gone through the ringer. We've talked to the best pros in the world about it, and we're happy to make recommendations. Hannah, are you going to come back next time with a different category of lures, or are we going back to topwaters again?
You'll have to come back and find out.
Stay tuned to next week.